I'm very definitely a woman and I enjoy it. Everybody is always tugging at you. They'd all like a sort of chunk out of you. I don't think they realize it, but it's like grrr do this, grrr do that. But you do want to stay intact and on 2 feet. A woman can't be alone. She needs a man. A man and a woman support and strengthen each other. She just can't do it by herself. I always felt insecure and in the way, but most of all I felt scared. I guess I wanted love more than anything else in the world. Creativity has got to start with humanity, and when you're a human being, you feel, you suffer. Success makes so many people hate you. I wish it wasn't that way. It would be wonderful to enjoy success without seeing envy in the eyes of those around you. Fame will go by and, so long, I've had you, fame. If it goes by, I've always known it was fickle. The most unsatisfactory men are those who pride themselves on their virility and regard sex as if it were some form of athletics at which you can win cups. It is a woman's spirit and mood a man has to stimulate in order to make sex interesting. The real lover is the man who can thrill you just by touching your head or smiling into your eyes or by just staring into space. First, I'm trying to prove to myself that I'm a person. Then maybe I'll convince myself that I'm an actress. This life is what you make it. No matter what, you're going to mess up sometimes, it's a universal truth. But the good part is you get to decide how you're going to mess it up. With fame, you know, you can read about yourself, somebody else's ideas about you. But what's important is how you feel about yourself. For survival and living day to day with what comes up, I want to grow old without facelifts. I want to have the courage to be loyal to the face I've made. Sometimes I think it would be easier to avoid old age, to die young, but then you'd never complete your life, would you? You'd never wholly know you. No one ever told me I was pretty when I was a little girl. All little girls should be told they're pretty, even if they aren't. I won't be satisfied until people want to hear me sing without looking at me. Of course, that doesn't mean I want them to stop looking. Fame is fickle, and I know it. It has its compensations, but it also has its drawbacks, and I've experienced them both. A man is more frank and sincere with his emotions than a woman. We girls, I'm afraid, have a tendency to hide our feelings. My work is the only ground I've ever had to stand on. I seem to have a whole superstructure with no foundation, but I'm working on the foundation. I don't consider myself an intellectual. And this is not one of my aims. But I admire intellectual people. A wise girl kisses but doesn't love, listens but doesn't believe, and leaves before she is left.